Today I'll be reading from An Idea to Google by Loie Bundy Sickle, chapters 11 and 12. Chapter 11, Behind Door X. Located at the edge of Googleplex, in a 3-story red brick building, is one of the most secretive labs in the world, a place called X. X is where Larry, Sergey, and only a couple hundred hand-picked employees work on ideas for products and services that one day may solve huge problems in the world. Moonshots. Larry and Sergey call the ideas brewing in X's labs moonshots. Moonshots are risky, expensive projects that try to solve impossible problems. And if a moonshot project succeeds, it could revolutionize the world, potentially changing the lives of billions of people. Pills that can detect cancer, kites that generate energy from wind, flying cars, and delivery drones are a handful of the moonshot projects that the public knows about. But most of the secrets behind X's doors remain a secret until Google is ready to share them. Google takes the wheel. A self-driving car was a moonshot that has now become a reality and is making its way onto roads across the country. Google's engineers first explored the idea of self-driving vehicles by removing the steering wheels and pedals and installing software, sensors like lasers and radar, and cameras that detect objects all around the car. These sensors can identify objects as far as 200 yards away, that's 2 football fields, and in all directions. They can detect pedestrians, cyclists, and even a plastic bag flying in the wind. Special software chooses a safe speed and understands how to avoid cyclists and slow down for pedestrians. Backup software and braking systems make sure that even if one system fails to work, the backup system will replace it and ensure a safe ride. Next, engineers gave the self-driving car a rounded shape. This design helps the sensor see better around the vehicle. Meanwhile, the inside of Google's self-driving car was designed for riders, not drivers. There's plenty of legroom and comfortable seats. Riders might not even notice that there isn't a steering wheel. Larry and Sergey believe that self-driving cars will transform mobility by making it easier, safer, and more enjoyable to get around. Consider individuals who otherwise wouldn't be able to drive themselves, such as a blind person, someone in a wheelchair, or an elderly person. Consider the fact that there are 1 million traffic deaths each year, the majority of which are caused by human error. Self-driving cars would eliminate the human error element, potentially saving thousands of lives every single day. Project Loon takes flight. Years ago, Larry, Sergey, and their ex-employees started working on a moonshot called Project Loon that is now bringing internet access to remote parts of the world, in areas such as Africa, New Zealand, and South America. Project Loon is a network of helium-filled balloons that beam down internet access. When inflated, the Loon balloons are huge, 39 feet tall and 49 feet wide, about the size of a small plane. Each balloon is powered by solar energy and hovers at the edge of space in the stratosphere, which is twice as high as commercial airplanes fly and more than 12 miles above the Earth's surface. Once the balloons are there, each one sends internet access down to an area below it about the size of Rhode Island. Online with Loon. A farmer in New Zealand became the first person to connect to the internet from a Project Loon balloon. Today, thousands of people in remote areas can experience uninterrupted internet access through Loon balloons. But it's not easy to pull off. Google has built a custom-made auto launcher that looks like a big construction crane, but is specially designed to gently inflate the Loon balloons and release them into the wind. The auto launcher inflates and releases 1 Loon balloon every 30 minutes. That's 48 new Loon balloons launched every day. Once launched, Google's Mission Control tracks each balloon and directs it to the areas where it needs to be, keeping in mind how the wind is blowing. After approximately 100 days, the Loon balloons are safely controlled back down to the Earth and collected by Googlers. If for some reason a Loon balloon pops or deflates and starts falling toward the Earth, an emergency parachute deploys and carries it safely to the ground. Chapter 12. A, B, C, D, E, F, Google. By 2015, Google had expanded to over 150 different languages and over 1 billion Gmail accounts, and it was earning over $60 billion in advertising revenue. Larry and Sergey decided it was the right time to restructure their company. Welcome to Alphabet. Larry and Sergey formed a parent company called Alphabet. Alphabet is mostly a collection of companies, Larry explained. Under the Alphabet umbrella is Google, along with several other companies, including Capital G, which invest in long-term businesses, GV, formerly Google Ventures, which funds exciting new startups, Fiber, which protects internet access, or which provides internet access, Calico, which works on fighting diseases, Nest, which creates smart home products, and X, where secretive moonshot projects are developed. The new structuring allowed Google to focus on its core products like Search, Gmail, Maps, Android, and AdWords. On the flip side, Larry and Sergey run Alphabet, which means that their vision to make the world a better place is spread across all of Alphabet's companies. Eric Schmidt stepped down as an executive of Google and Alphabet in 2017, and Larry and Sergey appointed a man named Sundar Pichai to be the CEO of Google. Larry explained, "Our model is to have a strong CEO who runs each business, with Sergey and me in service to them as needed." From an idea to now. Larry and Sergey have come a long way from having an idea and working late nights in their dorm rooms in hopes of making the idea a reality. From their revolutionary search engine to self-driving cars to the secrets bubbling within X's labs, Google has changed the world for billions of people. But it's not only the innovative products that make Google so successful, it's also the people. Led by two brilliant men with big ideas and strong values, the Google atmosphere is exciting, powerful, and meaningful. And just as Larry and Sergey explored their idea for a better search engine with a sense of freedom, energy, and willingness to do good, Google engineers are given the freedom to explore their passions and create amazing things every day. What will the future of Google look like? Today, Google is not only focused on improving the world with their products, they're also preparing the next generation of engineers, leaders, learners, and explorers. Within schools and classrooms, students and teachers can explore mysterious places like the bottom of the ocean or the surface of Mars with Google Expeditions, a virtual reality teaching tool. Children can learn about unknown parts of the world, such as Uluru Kata, Tuata National Park in Australia, and the Anangu ancient traditions and stories. Budding artists can express themselves with a Google 3D drawing tool called Tilt Brush, which allows children to paint in a virtual reality space with life-size brushstrokes. And Google's CS First clubs provide lessons in computer science and fun activities for aspiring engineers. Google has also helped hundreds of thousands of refugee children and parents by providing internet access and educational resources. Larry and Sergey will be forever known as the two men behind the idea for Google, but their reach today is much further than a search engine. Perhaps their impact on the world is best summed up by what Sergey once said. "Everyone wants to be successful, but I want to be looked back on as being very innovative, very trusted and ethical, and ultimately making a big difference in the world." And that is the end of From an Idea to Google. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope that it inspired you.